verse 25. He who loves his life will lose it, and he who hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life. You see, Jesus came into the world that had been created by the consciousness of sin from the first Adam. Consciousness is the overall mentality that is predominant in societies that we live in. If you live in Africa, there's a consciousness in certain areas of that country. There's a consciousness in certain areas of this country. There's consciousness that is the predominant belief system of the societies that we walk in. That doesn't mean we're subject to that consciousness. We just have to be aware of it. Our world is created by what we believe. But there's an overall consciousness that's created by governments and the overall belief systems in these societies. Are we understanding one another? Like if I walked into Moscow, there's a consciousness there that's different from the consciousness of Springfield, Ohio. You with me?
Amen.
There is a general consciousness of the world that has been created by the sin consciousness of the first Adam. We're born into that.
Amen.
That's what creates doubt and unbelief for all human beings. That's what makes us want to be what we want to be according to that consciousness until we can have an interaction and an encounter with the living Christ. Once we have that encounter, it's up to us not to stop, but to continue to greater and greater revelation of what Jesus has done.
Amen.
Back to this verse. If anyone serves me, verse 26, let him follow me, and where I am, there my servant will be also. It's not S, it says servant. Come back to that in a minute. If anyone serves me, him my Father will honor. Now, this is before Jesus is getting ready to go to the cross. This is a conversation he's having with his disciples. Now, this is important to understand because Jesus is all God and all man at the same time. And he went through the same afflictions. He was tempted with the same things it says in Hebrews, right? Okay. Verse 27. Now my soul is troubled. Now, your soul is different than your spirit. Your soul is where your belief center is. It's what forms all of your will is in your soul. What you choose to believe. That's your soul. Your emotions are in your soul. Your feelings, how you feel, what you want to follow, what you want to believe. All of that is your soul. And your soul is that mediator between your spirit and your body. When God designed man, he designed for his soul and spirit to be one, but the spirit was to have rule over the soul. But once the soul made the choice to disobey the Father, it became the ruling force inside of us. And that's how we're born into the sin consciousness, when we're born into our families. The spirit has to be awakened by the Spirit of God. And it's truly awakened when you're birthed into his kingdom by the water and the Spirit of Jesus. You see, Jesus came into this earth through the womb of a woman. You have to come into the kingdom through the womb of Jesus. He births you. He's the living water. He's the living Spirit.
Amen.
He births you into his kingdom. That's when he says, are you in me? Do you know who I am? See, most people have a problem because most people have lost their identity. And your identity has to be re-understood, and you have to be reunited back to the identity of how you were formed. You were formed by your Father, the Father of all spirits. And before there was a foundation of the world, your spirit knew exactly what your assignment was.